Hey yo, what's good fam? It's your boy S and I'm back with another video, and this time I'm gonna teach you how to make some Instagram music video frames. Check this out. Before we get started with this video, make sure you click the link to my website in the description down below, where you can download the free version of this pack that comes with this stock frame for free, or you can purchase the full version of this pack that comes with all 28 really dope frames that'll help you take your Instagram promo to that next level. It's also got an easy how to use guide where I'll take you step by step and show you how to use each frame. They're 100% customizable, so you can make yours unique, and they're available now. So let's head over to my computer where I'm going to show you guys how to use these frames in Adobe Photoshop and Premiere Pro to get your music video promo on point. Alright, so right now I'm going to show you guys how to use a few frames that are in these packs. We're going to go over the free pack, which is both stock frames. Then I'll show you a few frames that are in the full paid version. And I'll also show you a couple tips and tricks that I've learned in Photoshop and Premiere Pro that'll hopefully help you with your workflow. Now let's go ahead and get started. So first, you're going to want to export your music video. And if you want to know my export settings, leave me a comment. Let me know if it's a video you guys would be interested in watching. But for this video, time purposes, we're just going to keep it rolling. So go ahead and open your video, hit pause. I like to make it fill the entire screen, so we'll hit full screen and we'll scroll through and grab a couple decent screen grabs. Now, you only need 2, but the more that you have, the more options you're giving yourself. And I actually like this one right here, so I'm going to go ahead and click on the screen. All the information is going to disappear. Now, I'm using Windows. I'm not too sure what the settings or the commands are on a Mac, but on this Windows, up at the top right of hand side of your keyboard, there's a print screen button, PRTSC. Click that. It's going to copy your screen. We're going to go ahead and minimize this. Don't close it because we need to come back to that. We're going to open Photoshop, go to File, Open. Now in the free pack and the full version, you're going to get 2 screen grab templates. If your music video has crop bars at the top and bottom like mine do, you're going to want to use the 1920 by 796. If it do not have crop bars, use the 1920 by 1080. Mine has the crop bar, so go ahead and open this one. We're going to hit Control V to paste. Now here's a little tip in Photoshop. Go up here to View, click on View, and make sure that Snap is enabled. That way when you click your Move tool here, grab the image and slide it up, it's gonna snap right into place just like that. Now we'll go back to our music video, get another screen grab. I'm gonna use something where he's in the window, like right here, so we'll probably use, let's see, that looks good right there. We'll click the screen, all the information disappears, print screen. We can go ahead and close this window, click inside Photoshop, hit Control V to paste, slide that up until it snaps right into place just like that. Now we need to go and pick the style frames that we want to use. So we'll go File, Open. Now you'll notice that there's 2 versions of every style. We got brush feed template, brush story template, cutout feed template, cutout story template. Now the feed templates are a 1x1 square that are going to be perfect for your Instagram feed, your everyday post, and the story templates are a 9x16 rectangle, which would be perfect for your Instagram stories. And in this video, I'm going to go over the stock feed template and the stock story template that are in the free pack, as well as the full paid version. And I'm also going to go over the Road Rash feed template and the invert feed template that are only in the full paid version. The way we select and open all these together is we're going to press and hold Control, and we're going to select all the folders, files that we want to open. Hit Open. Now we get a little sneak peek at all the frames that we're going to work on, but we're going to start with the stock story template. We're going to go back to our screen grabs, and we're going to toggle this eyeball to turn this layer off. We're going to select layer 1. This is going to be our top image. We're going to go to our marquee tool, and this is where that snap comes in handy. We're just going to select right outside the image and click and drag all the way to the other side, and we're going to get those marching ants around the image. We're going to press Control C to copy, go back to our stock story template, open our image folder, and click on the top guideline. So when we paste this image, it's going to paste it right on top of that layer by hitting Control V. It's going to paste that. Now Control T is going to transform. so we can resize and we can move this around wherever we want. So we're going to put this right up here. Now we don't know where that line is on the guideline, because we need it to fit inside of this top guideline square. So the best way to fit it in without knowing where that line is at, you can lower the opacity here. Just another little trick that I've learned. You can get it to fit just like that. Raise that opacity back up. Go ahead and hit enter. Now we want to make sure that layer 1 is selected, because we want to cut off the access of all the rest of that image that's below that guideline there. So select layer 1, press and hold control, select inside this top guideline. It's going to select everything inside that square. We're going to go to select, inverse, and now it's going to select everything outside of that square. Again, make sure layer 1 selected, hit Control X, and there it is. It just cut that off. So we can toggle it on and off, and as you can see, it fits in there perfectly. Now we're going to go grab our bottom image, toggle that back on, select layer 2, Control C to copy, go back to our story template, Control V to paste, Control T to transform, and fit it in there to size. I think that's a good look right there. So go ahead and hit enter, scroll down, press and hold control, select inside this bottom guideline, select, inverse, Control X, and just like that, we've got the images finished on the stock story template. We can go ahead and close this folder, and now we want to rename the track name. We want to put the artist name in there. We also want to give ourselves credit by putting the director name. So we'll go ahead and open the video info text formats folder, and we'll start with the track info. So right here we got the artist name, the track name, and the official video. So we'll click over here on the text tool, select the text that you want to edit. Go ahead and type in whatever you need it to say, whatever the track name is going to be. You can highlight it, change the font, change the size of the text, change the distance in between each letter, change the color, and you also have some advanced settings down here. And then we can also do the same thing for the director info. We got directed by, the director name. Now if you have your own logo, it's a PNG file. You can bring it in the same way that you brought in the screen grabs. You could just toggle this off and put your logo right there, and it'll look great. But for this video, I'm just going to go ahead and leave everything the same. Now, in the center of this image, we have this rectangle that has these little squares. That's letting us know that that area is transparent. That's where our music video is going to go. Now, it's very important when we save this that we keep that area transparent, and we have to save it as a specific file type. So we go File, Save As. I'm going to save it to the desktop, and the type that we want to save it as is a PNG. This is very important. That's going to keep that area transparent so we can put our music video right in there. So that's a wrap for the stock story template. Go ahead and close that. We no longer need it. Now we're going to move on to the feed template. So go back to our screen grabs, toggle this off, select layer 1, Control C to copy, go back to our template, open up the image file, and we're going to paste it right on top of this guideline. Control V, Control T to transform. Let's fit it to size. I think that's probably a good look right there. Hit enter. Press and hold control, select inside that guideline, select, inverse, Control X. Just like that, that one's finished. Now we'll go to our bottom image, toggle that back on, select layer 2, Control C to copy, Control V to paste, Control T to transform. Size this down a little bit, get it to fit right in there. It's probably just right about there. Hit enter. Press and hold control, select inside the guidelines, select, inverse, Control X. And once again, you can go ahead and change all the info. I'm going to leave it the same. We're going to save this, File, Save As. Save it to the desktop. Very important. Save it as a PNG. And there we go. We got our stock story template right here, and now we're about to save the feed template. So go ahead and hit save, and we're done with those stock templates. We can go ahead and close this one. Now we're going to move on to the road rash and the invert, which are in the full paid version of this pack. These are a little different. So the road rash is one image. So it's got a top and a bottom image here, but it's only one guideline. So it doesn't have a top guideline and a bottom guideline. Also in this frame, it has some artwork. So if we turn this guideline off, we can see the artwork that's above the image, which will give it a grunge look. Once I put the image in, you'll get a better idea of what it looks like. So we'll go ahead and close that folder there. Now we're going to bring the image in, and I'm going to show you exactly how this frame works. So we're only going to need one image, and I want to use layer 1. So we're going to select layer 1, Control C to copy, go back to this template, click on the guideline, Control V to paste, Control T to transform. Now we're gonna drag this out as big as we can get it. So let's drag this down here, drag this up here, probably make it a little bigger than that. Right about there, that looks good. So we're gonna fit it just like this, and we're gonna hit enter. Then we're gonna press and hold Control, select inside the guideline, select inverse, Control X. Now you can see the grunge look above the image, which is that artwork going to work just like that. I like the way it looks. If you don't, you can turn it off, turn it on. But what I like to do, depending on the quality of the image, because we stretched it out so big, I like to add a blur to it. I think it's a pretty cool effect, pretty cool look. So we'll select layer 1, we'll go up here to filter, select blur, and we're gonna select Gaussian blur. And I like to keep it in between 3 to 4 pixels. I think 3 looks good right here. We're gonna hit OK, and I think that looks dope. Once again, you can change all the information that you need to change. We're just gonna go ahead and save this as a PNG onto my desktop. So there's the stock frames. Now we got the road rash. Go ahead and save that, and we can move on to the invert. Once again, this one's a little different. This one has one image that's in the center. So we're gonna have a video playing at the top and a video playing at the bottom. This one also has some artwork. So it's got some like a white border here that we can turn off, on and off. If you just like it like this, it looks pretty cool. This gives it like a paper rip effect. This one's very similar to the rip frame. The rip frame is the same thing except inverted. That's why this one's called invert. Go figure. So we're gonna go grab our screen grab. This one I wanna use layer 2. So I'm gonna select layer 2, Control C to copy, select the guideline, Control V to paste, Control T to transform. And we're just gonna size this up to where it goes edge to edge, just like that. And that fits in there perfect, just like that. We're gonna hit enter, press and hold Control, select that guideline, select inverse, Control X. There we go, there we have it. That's the end of that one. You can toggle the artwork on and off, just like I said. You can change all the information, but we're just gonna go ahead and save this to our desktop as a PNG. There are the other frames there. Hit save. Now we're gonna go ahead and move on to Premiere Pro. So, got Premiere Pro open here. I've already got a project started, Instagram frame test. The first step that I like to do is I like to open a new sequence. We're gonna name this Instagram frames test, just like that. Hit OK. Now we need to bring our assets into this folder here. So we're gonna open our folder, go to our desktop, and we're gonna grab all these files. We'll hit press and hold Control, select all the files that we want to bring in, drag them into there, and we can go ahead and close this. Now this sequence is set up as a 1920 by 1080, but we're gonna need to change this in a second. We're gonna start with the stock template, but first I'm gonna go through and show you guys a couple tips and tricks that I've learned, some keyboard shortcuts actually. So we're gonna grab the music video and we're gonna slide it right on down onto our first track layer here. And the way we're gonna zoom in to be able to get more detailed onto this video, next to the backspace button we have a plus, which is to zoom in, and we have the minus, which is to zoom out. Now we're gonna need to make some cuts on this video, so we'll probably start right about here at this marker here. The way we use our cut tool is the C. We press the C on our keyboard, and we can use our razor tool to cut tool. We can go ahead and cut there, and we can press V to go back to our selector tool. We'll zoom out a little bit, and we'll get about 15 seconds. So I'll like drag it out a little bit. Probably end up using right about at the end of that clip right there. So I'll press C to get our cut tool, and we'll cut it right here. Zoom back out, go back to V, and now we're going to cut this access off by highlighting it and pressing Control X. Same thing with this side, Control X. We're going to drag it to the beginning of our track. Zoom in and make sure it's at the beginning. Now we're going to bring in our story template. We're going to drag this right over the top, and we're going to drag it right out to the end of that clip. Now, as you can see, it doesn't fit. We need to change the sequence settings. So we're gonna click the sequence right here, Instagram frames test, click on it, just make sure it's highlighted, go up to sequence settings, and we're gonna change this to 1080 by 1920. So we're just reversing those, and it's gonna be a 9 by 16. very important that it says 9:16 right there. We're gonna hit OK. Yes, we want to change this, and there it is. Boom, it's already perfect. It fits in there just like that. If you need to resize it, you can click on the music video, right click, and you're gonna want to set to frame size right here. Set to frame size. You're gonna see these little black bars. We'll go to Effect Controls and make sure that the music video is highlighted, and we're gonna drag this to the right to scale it up until it disappears, which I'm gonna say about 66. I'll put 66 in there, hit enter, and it fits really good. Now what we need to do is we need to export this. So go to the beginning of our music video, zoom in, and we're gonna set our endpoint by pressing I on the keyboard. Just like that, it's gonna set our endpoint. Zoom back out, go to the end of the clip, zoom in right to the end of the clip, and we're gonna press O to set our out point. Now what it's gonna do is when we go to export, it's only gonna export this highlighted area. So we're gonna go to File, we're gonna go to Export, Media, and once again, if you guys wanna know my settings, let me know in the comments, and I might make a video on that, but I already have my settings here. Just go ahead and hit export. You can send it to the artist, upload it to Instagram, and whatever else you needed to do with that video. So now we're gonna go ahead and move on to the stock feed template. So we're gonna erase the story template by pressing Control X, and we're gonna drag this on top of this frame here, on top of the music video, stretch it out to size. Now we need to change the sequence settings again. So once again, make sure that it's selected. Go to sequence settings, and we're gonna change this to 1080 by 1080. And it's gonna make this 1:1. Very important that it says 1:1. Go ahead and hit OK. Yes, we wanna make these changes. Select the feed template, your frame here, right click, set to frame size. Click the music video, right click, set to frame size, and you're good to go. Nothing else you need to do with this one. Very simple, just like that. And once again, File, Export, Media. You go ahead and export it, send it to the artist, upload it to Instagram, whatever else you need to do with it. And we're gonna go ahead and cut this out, and we're gonna move on to Road Rash, which is very similar. You're just dragging it over the top, so we're gonna hit Control X to get rid of that frame, drag this frame in, extend it to the end, and click it, right click, set to frame size. Once again, it's done. I think that's a great look. It makes it look like, a car driving really fast slammed its brakes on top of your frame and just tore right through it. It looks really cool. Once again, export, send it to the artist, upload it to Instagram, whatever else you need to do with it. We're gonna erase this one. Now we're gonna get into the little bit more of a difficult one, which is the invert feed template. Now we need a video that's gonna be at the top and a video that's gonna be at the bottom. So what we need to do before we bring that frame in, click on the music video, press and hold Alt, and drag up and let go. Now you let go of Alt, make sure you're holding it the entire time, so now you have a duplicate of that clip. Now we can go ahead and bring that frame in, stretch it out to size, click it, right click, set to frame size, just like that. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this top video here, this top video clip, we're gonna go up to Effect Controls, and we're going to grab the right side, and we're going to scroll to the left, which is gonna drag it up. And we're gonna drag it right until that crop bar at the top disappears. So right about there, that looks good. Now we're gonna go to our bottom, and we're gonna drag to the right. But now, we don't wanna drag it until this bottom crop bar disappears. We wanna drag it till we see the top of this crop bar, and we wanna slide it right back up until that disappears right in that top corner. It looks like, just like that. Now we go ahead and play it. Man, that looks good. That's a dope look, you know what I mean? Artists like to see this type of stuff. They like to see you get creative with your work, and they especially like to be able to promote their music video in a way that really nobody else is promoting it. So let me know what you guys think about this pack. Let me know if you guys want to see Instagram Frames Pack Volume 2. But I appreciate you guys tapping in with me. See you next time. Thanks for tapping in, guys. And if you stayed this long in the video, I want to thank you by giving you 15% off the full version of this pack by using promo code IGFrames15 at checkout. And if you do purchase, please let me know what you guys think. I appreciate all the support, and I look forward to hearing from you. Peace.